Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine and I hope you're all safe, and I do hope you all had a great game week 21. I welcome you all to the live stream and let's get started. so before I come to the stream and I take your questions, I'll just like to tell you a little bit about since I didn't kind of do a review video about Gameweek 21. So I just like to tell you I got 76 points, and you know, let me just show you. So yeah, I got 76 points in Gameweek 21, and that's a good green arrow after a disappointing Gameweek 20 in which I just got 38 points. I was lucky that I kind of had Bamford, and then Dallas came in for John Stones, so it's a bit of a luck in this game week. So but overall it was a great game week for me. And moving on to game week 22. So this is my team and it's final, guys. So you'll be happy to know that I don't have to make any decisions on the stream tonight, and I'm just here to answer your questions. So what did I transfer? What did I make any transfers, and what is my transfer plan? So basically, in game week 22, I am not making any transfers. I have a feeling that these transfers can come in handy in the next game week, and I might even take a hit in the next game week. But this game week, I just don't feel like making any transfers. I feel my team looks pretty decent. Although Robertson, the most expensive defender in the game, has been underperforming and has been in my team. I do want to kind of get rid of Robertson, but in this game week, the match against Brighton, I felt I can keep Robertson for one more game week. And the two players that I really want to get, which I don't have in my team, is one is Grealish, and other is their keeper Martinez, because I feel that Martinez is kind of the Martinez is kind of the season keeper, like a season keeper goalkeeper, right? So I want Martinez for my team, and other than that, I just want Grealish now, since that the half of the season is over and he cannot get a suspension for one game due to the 5 yellow cards because they've been reset. I want Grealish and I want Martinez, but that's for the next week. But for this week, I haven't made any transfers, and I have I have Salah as my captain for this game week, and I have decided to start Sam Johnston over McCarthy, although I don't feel there's gonna be a big difference, because I feel West Brom and Southampton both are going to concede. But right now where I'm at, I just felt that maybe Sam Johnston will get some more save points as compared to McCarthy. So this is my my team for the game week 22. Although I am concerned a little bit about Gundogan. I feel he could be rested. People on Twitter are even kind of concerned about Salah, because they feel that if Mane is playing, Salah could be rested. But I think that the form Salah is in, I think it would be overthinking too much to kind of not captain him, especially since he's coming back into form, and so many people are going to have a captaincy on him this game week. Fortunately, I had my captaincy on Salah in game week 21, and I got 30 points from him. I was pretty happy with that. Right, so moving on, guys. Let me come to the chat, and I've been doing a monologue since the past 5 minutes. Now let me come back to chat and answer your questions. So first, we've got 37 people watching, and I want to welcome you all to the live stream once again, guys. And so Nahal says, "Wiz, you don't sound too well. Everything good?" Yeah, I'm pretty much fine, Nahal. It's just that I got this I caught a cold a few days back, and it's just been troubling me a little bit. but yeah, everything else is fine. Right. So I'm sorry I didn't read your previous comments, guys. So Nahal said, "You want to hear my sad story? I accidentally transferred out Bamford instead of Adams after a couple of beers. Note to self, never use the FPL app After you drink. Right, that's true, by the way. Um, don't worry about it, my friend. But Bamford was generally so many people transferred him out, even though they weren't drunk. Because Bamford hadn't been performing, and it's just that out of the blue, uh, Leeds got a bit of form, and they did perform really well actually. So yeah, sometimes these things happen, my friend. All right, so Shopman says, "What is your overall rank?" My overall rank is around 75k, my friend. I haven't I haven't checked my exact overall rank, but it should be close to 75k. Pretty happy with where I'm at. Lee says, "I'm still after a replacement for Kane, thinking of Ings." Um, I'm not sure about Ings, to be honest with you. I think that Southampton are kind of losing form a bit. They haven't. They lost to Aston Villa. They didn't look too threatening, although Ings did score that goal, in the end, and which was, I mean, if Matty Cash had a bit larger bottom, then that would have been a goal. But yeah, overall, I think Southampton are losing form, so I wouldn't recommend Ings. Maybe Watkins. I think they've got good fixtures, or Antonio. Nihil says, "Take care, mate. Hope you feel well soon." Yeah, I'm feeling pretty well. I just don't sound well, my friend. But thank you so much. Pro Gamer says, "Bro, who to start? Gundogan, Stones, and Barnes." Out of this, I'd possibly I'm tempted to say Stones and Barnes, because I think Gundogan is due a rest. Pep very explicitly said in his press conference, he said that I have to rest a few players. Because he said that they've been playing so many games and it's not humanly possible to kind of play so many games. So in my opinion, I think Pep, if I had, I would start Barnes and Stones and possibly bench Gundogan, but it's touch and go. Shrey says, "Should I take out Rafinha?" I don't think so. I think, from the press conference, I could make out what Bielsa said. He said that, possibly Rodrigo has a more serious injury as compared to Bamford and Rafinha, so I think they have a chance to play. So if I was you, I'd possibly put Rafinha in because he's in good form, right? Shopman says Saka to Grealish and bench Antonio, Bamford, DCL. My word, that's a difficult one, my friend, and I wouldn't bench any of them because Bamford has a good game, is in good form now. DCL, obviously he plays Leeds. And Bamford is not playing against Pickford, so you might want to rest him. But I wouldn't bench any of them. I think all three are really good forward options. Bench Antonio ahead of Bamford, DCL. Well, I'm not sure. I think Antonio is in really good form, and against Liverpool you can't really judge him. Although we did big him up because Liverpool did not have any good fit centre backs, and but in my opinion, I still feel that Antonio is a good option even against Aston Villa. Though the Aston Villa defenses looked really solid, and I agree with you that they're. Sterling for captaincy. If you have Sterling, I think he's a really good captaincy option. Although he doesn't have a good record against Burnley, but that is because I don't know what's the reason. He just keeps getting benched against Burnley for some weird reason, So, but if I had Sterling, I would definitely consider him as a really good differential captain. A lot of people are going to go with Salah, so yeah, Sterling I think is a really good option. Nihil says, "What do you think about Button to Martinez or Areola? Martinez season keeper, Areola blank Gameweek 29 keeper, and a bench boost 26 keeper." To be honest with you, I think Fulham are a good defensive team now. I think Scott Parker has made them more solid, and I think Areola is not a bad shout. But, I still feel that Martinez is going to have a lot of double game weeks as well. And I think since you have your free hit, I feel that Martinez is a better option, Lightra says, "Hey Viz, are you making any transfers?" No, Light, I'm not making any transfers. I'm rolling my transfer this game week. Is Bamford fit for this game week, says Samuel. He has a dead leg, and from what Bielsa said in his press conference, it seems that he's gonna be fine, my friend, But if he's not fit, just keep your, first bench ready. So, yeah. Owned by says, "Also, will Salah get rested? He's played full 90 minutes for 3 matches, and Mane could be back, and Firmino got rested, and Shaqiri could play." I know what you mean, and I'm pretty concerned about that as well. you know. But that rumor is kind of being generated from Twitter a lot because everybody's talking about that. In my opinion, I think Salah has had his well-deserved rest, and I think he can play. Maybe he's gonna get taken off early or whatever, but I honestly feel that Bruno Fernandes is not in the best of form. Or ever since Pogba started playing, I just don't feel comfortable in captaining or confident in captaining Bruno Fernandes. I just want to see a haul from Bruno before I can trust him again because he's been slowly. Let's see how many game weeks has been blanking for, and look at this, guys, and you'll find it very surprising. This is where I think Pogba started playing. So after that, Bruno's got like 6, 10, 2, 3, 5, 2, and 3. So I mean, it is not a coincidence anymore, guys. I mean, it's been 7 game weeks now, and you can see that in one game has Bruno got a double-digit score, and that's just 10 points as well. So I just don't feel comfortable captaining Bruno with Pogba playing in the team. So that's the reason. Yeah. Dexter says, need help. I got 2 transfers. Fabianski, Robertson, Target. Excuse me. Stones, Salah, Bruno, Soucek, Son, Rafinha, Watkins, Kane, Bamford. I'd say I think you can get Antonio, and that in place of Kane, and in my opinion, if you I think your team needs Grealish as well, and if I had the option, I would get Grealish in my team this game week, but since I don't, I am waiting. Excuse me, guys. I'm waiting until the next game week to get Grealish, but I feel that Grealish is a really desirable asset, and he should be a season keeper as well. So just don't just replace the 3 injured players. You can just replace 2 and have a strong playing 11. That's what I feel. Don't take a hit, my friend. Dallas or Cresswell? Who should I start? That's a difficult one, my friend. I'd say Cresswell. Honestly, I feel Cresswell. Dallas, although he did score and he has a better goal threat, but overall I feel West Ham are in better form. One good match against Leicester. I feel that I'm not sure about Leeds yet. But if I was you, I would start Cresswell. But because they're both good assets in the end, right? At this moment, if I had the option, Cresswell. Wimmel says my team: Schmeichel, Dallas, Diaz, Sofal. Sofal has a tough match. Diaz maybe a bit dicey. Salah captain, Bruno, Gundogan, Son, and Bamford, Hesses, and DCL. Soucek, RVA, please suggest transfer and playing 11. Well, I think your playing 11 seems to be pretty good because the problem is I don't like your defense. Sofal has a tough match. Maybe he's gonna get an assist, but on paper, it just seems a bit, Schmeichel. Yeah, I think who does Schmeichel play again? I'm sorry, guys, I should be knowing this. Just keep skipping my mind because I don't have any Leicester players, and I don't. I wanted to on Harvey Barnes. Yeah, they're playing Fulham away, so basically that's kind of a good game against Fulham, but Fulham are defensively good. So yeah, I like that team. I don't think you need a transfer, my friend. I think you're fine. Jesus could be a good differential for you. So all good. Pippin says your transfers this week. Pippin, I haven't made any transfers and I don't plan to make any. I want to roll my transfer. Next week I might make 2 or I might make even 3. So moving on, guys. Excuse me. Someone says, thanks to the visit for Salah captain advice last week, else I would have definitely gone with DCL. Thank you. You're welcome, Soman, and I'm glad you got a good captain return. I mean, captain returns are being hard to come by these past few weeks, in it. So, pretty happy with that. Prajwal says, replacement of Kane. Well, Prajwal, to be honest with you, if I was you, I would replace Kane with a cheap option and put money in the midfield. That's where I think the value lies. I'd suggest going with somebody like, just spread your money around, because I'm not sure when Kane is going to be back, and I don't like any premium forwards. Actually, I'm liking the look of the Bamford, Antonio, Watkins forward trio a lot, and if you can trust Wilson, because I cannot anymore, and Wilson, guys, it's a circle, right? Wilson, blank, 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 and everybody transfers him out, and then he scores, and everybody transfers him back in, and then again blank, 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 blank. So it's a complete circle. It keeps happening, and It's just that you just need to catch a haul from Wilson. That's all that you can do. All right. Justin to start or Dallas? If I was you, I'd start Justin. Definitely start Justin over Dallas. I feel that Fulham are defensively good. Attacking wise, they're just fine. McCarthy or Meslier? Meslier. I feel that Meslier has the problem with McCarthy and Meslier is they both have a difficult game. I feel Meslier might have a chance to it's playing against a weaker team possibly, but the problem is Leeds are also a very bad defensive team. So, but if I was you, I'd possibly put McCarthy in the team. Yeah. So maybe for the save points, because I'm not sure about Meslier honestly. But this could go wrong, my friend. It's a tough call, to be honest. Nail says, I was looking at Rashford playing on the left side of Kyle Walker-Peters. Yeah, true. I mean, Rashford is a good option, but the problem is he's not been in good form. Even against Arsenal, he was pretty anonymous, and he had a great chance to score, and he totally fluffed his lines there. Shivan says, this week, my team is Martinez, Stones, Cancelo, Shaw. I mean, I like that defense a lot, guys. Stones, Cancelo, and Shaw. Barnes, Salah, Bruno, Son, Gundogan. I like that midfield as well, and Antonio DCL. That's a pretty strong team, my friend. You're playing Gundogan, and you're benching it, and you've got Matty, Cash, Bamford, and Cresswell on the bench. My word, that's a pretty strong team. You got Martinez keeper. I think that's a very good team, my friend. And good luck to you for the game week. Going with Bamford. Yeah, I'm going with Bamford, my friend. I think he has a chance to play, but if he's injured, then he won't play. Then Soucek automatically comes in my team, right? Asad says, hey Biz, how are you? I'm fine, my friend. Getting better, and I hope the same for you. I hope you're fine. Raghav says, hi Biz, Cancelo will start. Raghav, you can never say, with any fair amount of certainty with Pep Guardiola, but I feel that he is going to start. Tate says, Nehal, I feel Bruno can outscore Rashford this game week. The problem with Bruno, guys, I just showed you his scores. Ever since Pogba started playing, Bruno hasn't had a really good haul, right? And it is not a coincidence anymore. He can haul anytime. He's a premium asset and an elite asset at that. But I just don't feel confident in captaining Bruno anymore. Gustavo says, why Diaz over Cancelo? Gustavo hasn't seen the blunder that I made in the double game week. Actually, it was supposed to be Stones and Cancelo. I accidentally transferred in Diaz and Stones, but it has been going well for me, my friend. Although I missed the 17-point haul by Cancelo, but I managed to catch the other one from Stones. Sudeep says, I was heavy hitted by Pep and Tuchel. Stones, Cancelo, Sterling, Chilwell were not playing, and my bench players were injured. I feel for you, my friend. It was pretty strange game week. I mean, so many players being rested out of the blue. Like people had, so many people I know in Twitter, they had Sterling, they had Mane, and I mean, out of the blue, players were rested. That was very weird. If you went for differentials this game week, it's a difficult game week to kind of swallow. How about captaining Gundogan, says Prajwal. I feel that Burnley are not going to concede as many goals as they do to City at home. I think, Burnley, especially because they don't have many strikers fit. I think Ashley Barnes is injured, Chris Wood is a little bit in doubt, and I feel that they are not going to concede too many goals. Just feeling that. So, and Gundogan, I feel that he did get 2 goals in that game. Against, was Sheffield, was it? No. I don't know. Just let me check. He did get those 2 goals in the game against West Bromwich Albion away, but that was against a team who are not playing very good football at the moment, and they're conceding a lot of goals anyway. So I don't feel comfortable in captaining Gundogan. Rohit says, what is your chip strategy for the upcoming game weeks? Actually, I don't have many chips left. The only chip the major chip I have is the wildcard and the triple captain. The triple captain will go in the double game week, obviously, and with wildcard I just want to see, because after the FA Cup 5th round, I want to see which teams blank in game week 29, and according to that I'm going to plan my wildcard, and that's how I'm going to approach the rest of the season, because I just have a wild card and I have to navigate the double game week as well as the blank game week. If I can navigate the double game week with my free transfers, I'll possibly save my wild card and try to navigate the blank and try to make a solid team with my wild card. Should I bench Laka or Watkins or DCL? Well, that's again a tough one. Out of those, I'd possibly bench Watkins, my friend. Again, Hirsch, the thing is, out of these, anybody can haul, but defensively, I feel West Ham is pretty solid, and Wolves maybe Lacazette. The reason why I don't want to tell you to bench Lacazette is because he's too expensive. If I take value out of the equation, then I'd possibly say bench Lacazette and play Watkins and DCL maybe. Because with DCL he's playing against Leeds, and Leeds have a tendency to I'm sorry, my throat is kind of gone today. So in my opinion, you can it's difficult to call one out of the two, but if I was you, I'd bench one out of Watkins and Lacazette and maybe play DCL. Nihal says, Wiz, would you bench Son over Soucek, Cresswell, Adams? Nihal, it feels very, very weird and hard to bench such an expensive, explosive, and a premium asset. Although I know that under Tuchel, Chelsea have been a different animal. They've been having a lot of possession, and they've been they haven't been conceding a lot of chances against the teams that they played against. But the thing is, if Chelsea keep a lot of possession, it plays into the hands of Son, who's just going to be playing on the counter attack. So if I was you, I'd possibly play Son. As you can see, Son is in my team as well, and I'm playing Son. So just my 2 cents. Siddharth says, hey bro, hey Siddharth, how are you? Faz says, should I replace Saka? Faz, if you can bench him for one more game week, I think he's going to be back. Otherwise, if you don't have 11 players, then you can possibly, you can replace him. But otherwise, I think he's a season keeper. He's in good form and he's playing on the wing for Arsenal. Just 5.4 million, I think, a pretty good asset. Siddharth says, sorry, a bit late, but why West Ham players on the bench? Because I've got Antonio in my team, my friend, and I feel Aston Villa are not a team which is going to concede too many goals. I think they're pretty solid defensively, and they've got central defenders in like Konsa and Mings, who are big and strong, and I don't think they're going to be too many goals. West Ham can score too many goals unless it's an anomaly like this entire season. Would you sell Son for Sterling? Razif, it's a difficult one to call because the next game week, Sterling plays against West Bromwich Albion and Sterling plays against Liverpool. So just for one game week, seems like a dicey move. But if you want to keep Sterling long term, then I would consider it. We got 57 people watching, and guys, we just got 25 likes. So if you can help me, please like the stream and subscribe to the channel, and I'll try to answer as many questions as possible. Thank you so much, my friends. Raghav says cap Son or Bruno. I don't think cap Son captaincy is really a good idea. Although he can score against Chelsea, and if you own Son, I think that's a good idea. But I think Bruno, Salah are better options for captaincy this game week. And Son, I'm not sure, especially without Kane. If Kane was playing, I would tell you to captain Son because I feel that Tottenham can hit them on the counter attack. But if they couldn't hit Brighton on the counter, really, I'm just not sure that you should captain him. Reece James replacement. Well, Antonio Rudiger, 4.5 million defender for Chelsea. He's been starting games under Tuchel, and it seems like a very interesting option to me. And but I'm not sure because Tuchel is like Pep Guardiola. He rotates so much, and I'm just can't say with any fair amount of certainty that Rudiger is going to start all the games. So otherwise, you should keep an eye on Antonio Rudiger because he's 4.5 million and starting in that Chelsea team. If you want to replace him for some other player, I'd possibly look at somebody like Matt Target. I think he's a really good option. Odin to Zaha, good one. Well, Bipin, if you want to, I feel that in the same price range as Zaha, I like Grealish more. I'm in the same price bracket maybe. I even like Harvey Barnes a lot based on their fixtures, and Zaha is maybe third or fourth on my list of options. So but if you have an instinct or gut feel for Zaha, then you might go for him. Nike says, "Hey Wiz, since City are coming next for a pool, will Klopp consider benching Salah?" Nike, I do have that at the back of my mind, but you know, when we overthink, I feel that there's a tad overthinking in it, and maybe the fears are true. But since he did not say anything about that after the game, or we don't have any kind of conclusive evidence to go on, and that's the reason I'm putting my captaincy on Salah, because remember, 3 points are 3 points, right? And against Brighton is not the easiest of teams to break down. Even Spurs could not score without Kane. Spurs could not score against Brighton, so it's not as easy of a game as it appears to be. So in my opinion, I think that Klopp would like to have those 3 points in the bag and then rest Salah. Possibly, take him off early or something like that. And Salah, I think, is a fit player, and Liverpool had a long rest, unlike many other teams. So, I think that Salah can be rested, but I still am willing to take the risk to make him captain. That's what I think about that. Alexander says, Captain Sterling or Salah? Also, would you risk with Castan or to play Dallas or Sofal from the bench? Well, if you have Castan, I would possibly play him if he plays. That's good, because I don't have any update about the injury to Castan. I think Castan is a good option because Fulham are good defensively. Attacking wise, I'm not so sure. So between Sterling and Salah, I would say, if I had them both, I would be feeling pretty lucky. But Salah is the safe captaincy option. The only doubt, which I just said, is about the benching, which people are talking about, because they feel that because Mane was injured, and if Mane is back, maybe Redden Shaqiri is going to play in place of Salah, because City is coming next for Liverpool. So there is a doubt. So if you want to take the risk with Salah, I think he is a safer option. With Sterling, more differential, more explosive one. Tielemans is my captain. Not sure about that, my friend. Again, these kinds of captains are not based on logic, more on the instinct or the gut, my friend. So if you're feeling you want to go for that captaincy pick, you go for it. 5.2 million, good midfielder. Let me see. Let me just switch to the transfers so I can show you as well. All right, 5.2 million, right? In midfield, which 5.2 million midfielder? Soucek is 5.3, Click is 5.3, and I wouldn't suggest going there. Saka is again expensive. Don't see any really good options. In Lookman, I would say is a decent one. Cavaliero is again out of your reach. I don't see many good options in that price range, my friend. If I'd say if you can't afford that price range, I'd say you should possibly go with Anguissa and just save some amount of money, because 5.2 is not getting you anything pretty good in terms of midfield. So yeah. Ashish says, whom should I play, Sofal or Watkins or Brewster? With Brewster, I know he has a good game against West Bromwich Albion. Will he start? Will he not start? Just not sure about that. But you can take a risk on Brewster if you want. Otherwise, I'll just say start Watkins, because he's nailed on, and Aston Villa are in good form. Alif says, regret playing Johnston in Gameweek 21 instead of Martinez, who got 10 points. On paper, it was the right decision, my friend. I wouldn't regret it too much, to be honest with you. If it's possible, just get rid of one keeper and just keep one playing goalkeeper, so that every week we don't have this decision to make. And whenever I get the chance, I'm going to do it. Alexander says, thanks for the explanation. You're welcome, my friend. Pro Gamer says, I'm starting Barnes over Gundogan. Well, I'd say that is a good option, honestly, because I feel that Gundogan, he's played so many games. Here, let me show you, just to demonstrate what I was saying. Look here. See, he's played all the games, although he was taken off at 74 minutes against Chelsea, but 74 minutes is not much. Here was taken off at 51 minutes, but then he again played the game against Sheffield United. So maybe Gundogan's game time is going to be managed ahead of Liverpool. So playing Barnes over Gundogan, I think I like the idea, although both options are good. Bot Zaha, let's see how it goes. Good luck with the move, Bipin, and I hope it works out for you. Lewis says, do I bench Gundo, Watkins, DCL or Bamford? Also Martinez or Johnston? If I had Martinez, my friend, I'd just put him in the goal and forget about it, because with Johnston, I feel West Bromwich Albion are not a good team anymore. Even with Sam Allardyce coming in, I feel that they're actually regressed a bit. I think Bilic was a better coach for them. So in my opinion, Martinez. Long-term keeper, just keep Martinez. Set and forget Martinez. Between the bench, Gundogan, Watkins, DCL, Bamford. Seems a very difficult decision. If I was to bench one out of them, right, it would be between Gundogan and Watkins. It would be between those two. Harsh says, thoughts on captaincy Zaha in this game week. See, the thing is, guys, if you're going for a differential captain, like for example Zaha, or somebody was asking about Tielemans, it's difficult for me to say that, because it is your instinct, it is your decision and your gut instinct which made you kind of feel the captaincy. Because I am mostly, the way I play this game, I just go for a safer captaincy option every week, and I rarely take excuse me, I rarely take risks on my captaincy. That is the way I play this game, right? So if you're feeling it, you should go for it. Otherwise, you already know which captain I'm going for, right? So Amrit says, which transfers have you made? I've not made any transfers, Amrit, and I don't plan to make any. I'm planning to roll my transfer this game week. Sean says, which one to bench? Wilson, Bamford or Antonio? Whoa, these questions are becoming difficult, guys. You own such good players, and after the haul, I can't tell you to bench Wilson or Bamford, and Antonio is in good form. Maybe bench somebody from midfield, Sean. If I was you, I'd possibly be tempted to play all of them, but out of them, if I was to bench one, maybe Antonio would be it. Play Martinez or Johnston? Martinez. Socrates says, hey, do you think Maguire or Fofana is a good pick? Another one, play Adams or Sofal. If I was you, I'd play Adams. Maguire for Fofana, maybe not this game week, because if you're picking Adams, then you expect Southampton to score, right? So if I was you, I'd just do one transfer. Justin says, any Saka update? Yeah, the update on Saka is that Saka is a doubt. So we don't have nothing conclusive on Saka from Arteta. Hang on, let me just check for you, and so that I'll let you know, guys. If you want to know about any player, I have this list here which I always make with Bukayo Saka. He says return to full training on Monday. So the latest update on Bukayo Saka is that he's back in full training. So that's good news for the owners, my friends. Can't decide who to captain, Salah or Bruno. Well, the problem with Salah, again, as I said, is Salah, again, the rumors are originating from Twitter, and people feel that he might be rested and all this, but the game against Brighton seems to be ideal to captain Salah. With Bruno, as I showed you, and I'll show you again, guys, ever since Pogba started playing, Bruno hasn't been doing too well. Look here, like 6-2-3, 5-2-3. And against Southampton, it's not going to be an easy game. Southampton is a decent team as well. So, good luck, guys, with your captaincy. Sean says, my midfield is Bruno, Grealish, Gundogan, Salah, Maddison. I like that midfield. Although in place of Maddison, I would like to have Harvey Barnes in there, but that midfield is strong. Bench Son, Gundogan, or Antonio. If I was you, I'd possibly bench Gundogan out of those, my friend. Guys, again, these are really 50-50 calls, and I'm just trying to help you with my opinion. Please don't take them just as it is, and use your own decision making to kind of assist with better decision making. I can only help you, guys. Please do not blame me if this goes wrong, because my name is FPL Wizard, but I don't have a real crystal ball. I just want to make it clear, just in case you were wondering. Yusuf says, bro, you gotta bring in Southampton players. Southampton players, maybe, it depends on the form. The problem is Kyle Walker-Peters is injured, and that's where their creativity comes from, because in midfield it's just Ward-Prowse with the set pieces. Otherwise, they don't have much creativity in there. And with Danny Ings injured, I didn't want to own their players. Now he's back. Let's see how they play against United, and then we'll make the decision. Aditya says, my team: Martinez, Cancelo, Stones, Justin. I like that defense, and Grealish, Bruno, Sterling, Salah, all good there, and amazing actually. Watkins, Bamford, Antonio, Ben Johnston, Rafinha, Sofal, Dallas. Amazing team. I'll say 9 out of 10. Amazing team, my friend. Dallas versus Sofal. Whom to play? Well, the thing is, Sagar, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a clean sheet, I feel that Sofal has a better chance of a clean sheet. Although I feel that Leeds and West Ham both will concede. But in terms of percentage, I'd say Sofal has a better chance of a clean sheet. Attacking return, I'd say Dallas has more chance of an attacking return. So yeah. Somo says, Sterling or Salah for captaincy? I think I've answered this question so many times, guys. Again, if you want to go for a differential, my friend, go Sterling. And you should remember, Sterling doesn't have a really good record against Burnley, but it is not for the, for his performances. The reason is, I don't know what's the reason. Pep just loves to bench Sterling against Burnley. I think he's been benched like 4 times under Pep Guardiola against a certain Burnley. I don't know why that happens. Nicholas says, Viz, back yourself, you can tell the future. I wish, my friend, and I would win FPL every year. And I could do a lot more with that though, by the way. Tom says, start Watkins or Bamford. I'd say out of those two, I'd say Bamford and put Watkins first on the bench in case Bamford is injured. You get the Watkins points anyway. Souček or Shea Adams? If you don't have Antonio, I'd say play Souček. If you have Antonio, I'd say play Shea Adams. ProGamer says, bro, you always make the right decision for my team and help me. Well, my friend, I thank you so much for your generous comment, but it doesn't always work. Jashan says, Cancelo, Cresswell, Maguire, Aaron Wan-Bissaka going with you 2 United defenders this week. Jashan, I hope it works for you, my friend. And it's tough because I feel that Southampton have this ability to score goals in big games, but I hope it works out for you. Yusuf says, my name is FPL Wizard, but I don't have a real crystal ball. Yeah, exactly. Janku says, what is the rule for substitution if one of the forward did not play in 3-4-3 formation? The problem is not with the forwards. Unless you have one forward, the first player on your bench is going to come in. The problem is if one of the defenders in a 3-4-3 formation doesn't play, then no matter who's first on your bench, the first defender on the bench is going to come in. Basically, it should be a legible formation, right? So if you have 2 defenders and you've got a striker first on your bench or a midfielder first on your bench, it doesn't matter. A defender is still going to come in because they have to maintain the formation, right? Sid says, what's up, Viz? What are your plans? All good, Sid, and no plans, no transfers. I'm rolling my transfer, and next week I possibly look ahead to make 2 or even 3 transfers. Excuse me, guys, I just have this really bad throat. And the plan is to bring in Grealish next game week. Daniel says, what app are you using? I don't understand what you mean. I just use the normal FPL app sometimes. I just make my transfers on my computer. Who should I bench? Grealish, Antonio, Bamford, DCL, Gundogan, Salah, Bruno, Madison. You have to bench one of them, right? Out of them, I'd say maybe Gundogan could be benched. Grealish I'd never bench. Never, ever. Alright. FPL Sum says, just chill and roll the free transfer and captain Salah. FPL Sum, you're not captaining a differential. That just doesn't sound right to me. Nail says, Martinez in for a button done. I like that transfer, my friend, and I honestly tell you that Martinez is a season keeper, and remember, he's got double game weeks to come as well. Amazing transfer. Not just for this game week, but for the long term. Vimal says, Diogo Jota showing return date of today. Vimal, it doesn't matter. Diogo Jota has had a setback, and I think he's not going to be back for the next, 6 weeks. Or maybe 5 weeks, right? Ayling or Lookman, who to bench? If I was you, I'd bench Ayling and play Lookman. I always prefer the attacking player. Alishpani says Mahrez to Sterling. If you want to, you can, but remember to check the fixtures of Manchester City after the Burnley game, guys. Remember, Burnley away is not a good fixture, although City always tend to score a lot of goals against Burnley. I give you that. But look at the fixtures: Liverpool away, Tottenham home, Arsenal away, West Ham, United. Guys, these fixtures are not easy, right? I know City is in good form and can win, but before bringing in their premium assets, do consider that they don't have Kevin De Bruyne. Ajay says, hey mate, hey Ajay, welcome. FPL Penguin says, Grealish. By the way, I welcome FPL Penguin, a fellow colleague who also has a YouTube channel, so guys, feel free to check him out. He does really good work there. He says, Grealish, Souček, Pereira, Watkins or Trent for this week. My team, De Gea, Diaz, Stones, Cresswell, Smith Rowe, Mane, Salah. You got Mane and Salah both. That could be a banger, right? Gundogan, Barnes, Antonio, and Bamford. If I was you, my friend, I'd say Grealish. Definitely, Grealish. If in my opinion, Grealish is the kind of player who should never be benched. So I just have this philosophy about certain players, and he's a talisman of that team, and I think we should play Grealish. Jose says, should I play Cresswell, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Cancelo and Diaz with Bamford and Antonio in attack, or not play Cresswell and play Watkins and the rest of the strikers? Well, if I was you, I'd possibly play Watkins instead of Cresswell too. Yeah. Alonso, Chilwell or Silva. Not sure about the Chelsea defenders, my friend, and I'm not sure if Alonso's going to start all the games, how nailed on he is. So if you want to go for the Chelsea defender, I'd say it's better to go for somebody like Antonio Rudiger, who's just 4.5 million and he started both the games under Tuchel. So that's what I feel about the Chelsea defenders as of now. Dobrak says, why are you ignoring me? Bro, I apologize for that. I'm not intentionally ignoring you. I just might have missed your message. Hang on, let me read it. And he says, how about Eze from Crystal Palace? So that's a good question, right? So his question is Eze, and I had a look at Eze for my team as well, guys, and I feel that Eze is a good option at 5.8 million, guys. And Crystal Palace fixtures, if you look at the fixtures of Crystal Palace, they are pretty favorable. And if you don't want to own Zaha, you can think about going for somebody like Eze, who I feel is a good, solid, 5.8 million option. Although in the same price range, I prefer Bukayo Saka or Souček more. But if you want to go with Eze, I think he's also a decent option. Monal says, thanks man, you're welcome, my friend. Ari says, hey, do you think I should start Johnston or De Gea, also Wan-Bissaka or Holding? Well, the thing is, if you want to start De Gea, then you shouldn't start Wan-Bissaka. You should, maybe you should divide the risk a bit. Arsenal have been looking good in a defensive sense, but just don't think that Holding gives you anything else except a clean sheet, right? So if I was you, I'd basically be looking at maybe Johnston and Wan-Bissaka, or De Gea and Holding. That would be my combination. Dr. Taranjeet says, is Salah a must for this week? Well, again, Taranjeet, the thing is, I never say that a certain player is a must-have, because in FPL you can win in many different ways. So the problem with Salah this game week is that he's played 3 games in the past few days, and he's got Manchester City coming after the Brighton game. So the problem is, it is possible that, as is people are predicting on Twitter, and there's a lot of noise about that, Salah might get reduced minutes in this game week. Is he a good option? Yes, he is. Is he essential? As I said, in FPL nobody is essential, but yes, he is a desirable asset, I can say that. And Salah is the kind of player you should keep in for the length of the season, and he'll give you your returns. Alright guys, too many questions coming in. I'm sorry if I'm not able to reply to all of you, but I hope when I answer others, and I indirectly, you get your answers as well. Justin says, hi, Liverpool or Manchester United defender to start with double City defense I would start with a Liverpool defender, unless it's not, Phillips or Reece Williams. Unless you have Robertson or Alexander-Arnold, I would start him against Brighton over the United defender. Lewis says, who's the best non-Manchester City defender to bring in for size? I'd say Matt. Maybe Crystal Palace have good fixtures. Don't trust their defense anymore because especially with James Tompkins out and. I'd say Matt Target is a good option. I'm really looking to bring him into my team in the next few weeks. Pistangio says, got Pulisic, looking for a replacement, thinking of Zaha, Madison or Barnes. Out of these three, if I had to rank them, I'd say Zaha and Barnes are pretty much at par, but I'd say Barnes is better because of his price over Zaha, and number 2 is Madison. So that's my thoughts about that. But if you have Pulisic, you can keep him. Chelsea have really good fixtures. Why do you want to sell him? Is he injured or something? Because I haven't even looked at Chelsea assets, guys, and I hate to sound ignorant, but yeah, Pulisic is fit, right? So if you have Pulisic, why sell him? Also, by the way, I have to tell you about this. Callum Hudson-Odoi has started both the games or played lots of minutes under Tuchel, guys, and he's a very good option as well, and he's just what 5.7 million, right? So just keep an eye out for Antonio Rudiger from Chelsea and Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea. I think they can be good value assets under Thomas Tuchel. Socrates says Bruno or Salah because my cup opponent is sure gonna captain Salah. Socrates, the thing is, I've never focused on the FPL Cup too much. When I play with play FPL, my entire focus is on the game week and the overall rank. I just don't focus on the cup too much. But if he's captaining Salah, then I think you should captain Salah as well to kind of take out the risk. Shopman says bench Bamford, DCL or Antonio. Really hard one. Technically I'd say bench. Out of those, I'd possibly bench Antonio, because I think out of those, Aston Villa have really good defense. Really good. Zayad says Grealish or Watkins. Grealish. Always Grealish. Never bench Grealish, guys. I'm saying this, because I believe in that. If I had Grealish, I wouldn't bench him against Liverpool, against Manchester City, against any team in the league. I wouldn't bench Grealish. He's so good. He's so good to watch. Should I captain? So good to watch playing football, I should say. Should I captain Madison, says Dawood. If you want to, Fulham don't concede too many goals, and Madison doesn't really have the stats, although he did score a few goals, but those were like, he had 3 shots on target and scored 3 goals. Is that sustainable? I don't think so. With Vardy being absent and injured, is Madison really the best option for captaincy? Don't think so, but you feel your instinct, then you can go with it. Robsky says Dean at the back or Wilson up top. Everton might really keep a clean sheet because Pickford is injured and Pickford might not play this game week, so Everton might keep a clean sheet. I'm just joking though, by the way. If I was you, I'd possibly play Wilson. It's difficult, but I always pick the attacker over the defender. Although Dean is a half attacker himself, but if I was you, I'd think, because I don't think that Everton are going to keep a clean sheet against Leeds. Dan says, with benching dilemma with Souček, Dallas, and Sofal, who should I start? If I had to start one and you don't own Antonio, I would start Souček, and if you own Antonio, I would start Dallas. Grealish or Watkins, I already answered that. FM says, should I transfer in Barnes for Madison? No, I don't think so. I think that's a very sideways move, my friend. I don't think that's required. I think if you have Madison, I think you should stick with him. Akshat says, what is your opinion on bringing in Mahrez for this weekend only? Well, if you want, you can bring him in for this game week. The problem with Mahrez is we're not sure, what this coming in and out of the team does to his confidence, to his form. If I had to take a punt on a City player for 1 week, this game week, which one would it be? Sterling. It would be Sterling, to be honest with you. But if you want to go with Mahrez only for this week, I don't think there's a big risk in that, except that you'll just lose 2 transfers. Ayush says, will Stone start the game? Well, you can't say with any amount of certainty because Laporte is fit now, but I feel he's going to start. Robsky says thank you. You're welcome, my friend. Hakim says bench Justin, Cresswell, or Bamford. If I was you, I'd bench Cresswell out of those. Should I captain Barnes? Guys, this is a difficult one again. As I told you, if you want to, you can. Fulham don't concede too many goals. Just be careful of that. Especially against a big team, they play with a deep defensive block. They don't concede too many goals, right? So be careful. Barnes is more effective playing against teams who are more susceptible to the counter. And, and with the absence of Vardy, not sure how effective the captaincy is going to be. You have him, that's good. Captaincy, not sure. Prajwal says, how about Captain Gundogan? I answered that. Danford says, thanks mate, you're welcome. By the way, guys, this is a good time to tell you, if you want to become a member of the FPL Visit channel, there's a join button right next to the subscribe. So, you can click on that join button, and for about I think $5 a month, you can become a member of the channel, and you can support the channel. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and do like the stream. Thank you so much. I hope I'm able to answer all your questions. If not, I'll get back to them. FPL Jug says, please give a like to the stream. Thank you so much. Sid says, Rafinha 75%. Do you think he'll play? Should I transfer Grealish for him? Well, irrespective of whether he plays or not, I feel that Grealish is a better option than Rafinha. In the long run, which one would you want to own? Grealish or Rafinha? If I was you, I'd want to own Grealish. Hillman out, Rudiger, McTarget, or Dawson. If I was you, I would love to get Target. With Dawson, not he's a good option. He did score a goal as well, but Target, I think with Aston Villa defense, I think is pretty good. Shivam says Salah captain. Yeah, for my team, Salah is the captain. Yes. Unless, let me go and check on Twitter if we don't have any late news or anything like that. Otherwise, for me, Salah is captain. So, yeah. Let us see what happens. No, I don't see any updates with Salah or anything like that. So, yeah, Salah is my captain. Anyways, Atul says, hey Wiz, who to start? DCL, Antonio, Bamford. Guys, you've got everybody asks me these kinds of questions, which are really, really, tough, by the way. And there's no right answer or wrong answer to some of these questions, guys. But I can tell you, if I was you, and if I had to take a punt on which one to bench, I'd maybe bench and Antonio, and hope that Bamford plays. If he doesn't, then you get Antonio anyway. FPL Jug says, I roped in Zaha. Your take on him? I think he's a good option. I like him, just not for me. The kind of player I am, the temperament I have, in the way I play FPL, Zaha maybe not for me right now. He's just a player who gives you one return in maybe 4 or 5 games, and tend to become impatient sometimes. I feel that in the same price range, I like Grealish much more than I do Zaha. I like the continuous flow of points more than a brute force. Like one game week he'll give you 15 points and then he'll blank for the next 2 or 3. Grealish give you 8, 6, 7 points every game week. I like that more. Yusuf says, until when are you streaming? I'm going to be streaming until the deadline, my friend. So no worries. If you're gonna go somewhere, you go. I'm gonna be here. Surya says, hey Wiz, is Fabianski to Martinez and Rodrigo to Antonio for a -4 worth it? Or should I just save a transfer? Have Johnston as my other keeper, will likely play him. I think Fabianski to Martinez is not required. I think West Ham are pretty good defensive team themselves. Rodrigo to Antonio, if you can do it with one transfer, I think that's a desirable move, to be honest. Should I keep Salah captain full season? What do you think about that? No, not like that. The thing is, like, sometimes these things work, but most of the times I think come back to bite you, my friend. So we should, just analyze every game week, watch the games, and then make the decision every week. James Upson says, any transfer plans for this week? Sorry if you've already answered this. No problem, my friend. I haven't made any transfer this week, and I don't plan to. I plan to roll a transfer. I felt my team was pretty strong for the game week, so it's good to have 2 transfers sometimes, right? Will Werner play this week? The problem with Thomas Tuchel is that he's even more dangerous for FPL managers than Pep Guardiola, and I would like to see more from Chelsea before I can comment on any of their players, my friend. Honestly, I don't know. Sharon says, hey Wiz, bench Luke Shaw, Chilwell, Cresswell or DCL. I wouldn't... Luke Shaw created the most chances in 2020. Very attacking defender, you know. So Chilwell, possibly Chilwell. I think Chilwell has a difficult game, and you know, he was benched for Alonso. I think if I was you, I'd possibly bench Chilwell. Which two to play? DCL, Bamford, and Watkins. Jug, this is a difficult question. If I was you, I'd possibly play DCL and Bamford and bench Watkins. Again, guys, this is a question which has no right answer to it. All right, I'm giving you my instinct and based on the games that I watch and my logic to it. Please just don't take it at face value. Do your research and make your transfers. This is my opinion. Please, just I hope it doesn't go wrong, but if it does, do not blame me for it. Adrian's his Cancelo for Walker Peters or Cavani for Adams. Cancelo, my friend. I think Cancelo is if you don't have a City defender and you know you want a City defender, I think Cancelo has a very, very high ceiling. Maybe you know the next fixtures are not that good, but still having one City defender is desirable. Josh Irving says Barnes or Madison. Barnes, in my opinion. I already gave a long explanation about that in my video, though. I think Harvey Barnes has a much better goal threat than Madison. Salah or Sterling captain. If you want to go with the more reliable option, I'd say Salah. If you want to go with the differential and then you go with Sterling. I don't have Sterling, so I'm going with Salah though. But you should know one thing, guys. I don't know what's the reason, but Pep generally benches Sterling versus Burnley. I think out of the last 5 games, he's benched him 4 times against Burnley. There has to be a coincidence, or I don't know what. Owen says, thinking of Rashford and Kane to Wilson and Salah. Do I think Wilson is the best option in that price bracket? Think not. I think for this game week you might think so. Otherwise, you can keep Rashford and but you want Salah in your team, right? So yeah, you can think about Watkins, you can think about Antonio as well. Wilson is a decent option, right? When on form, and sometimes he'll give you good returns, but I feel that he's not the best option in that price range. Don't let the recency bias kind of affect your decisions, because Wilson is not going to be scoring 2 goals every game week. Now watch him go and prove me wrong. Soman says got pranked by Pep and Tuchel last week. At Stones, Cancelo, Chilwell still managed 69 points. Well, you're the real wizard, Soman. And well done to you, bro. We love TXNY says bench Son or Zaha. None, my friend. I wouldn't bench Son or Zaha. I would bench somebody else, because Zaha has a good fixture, and Son is a premium asset. If you and I feel that against Chelsea he could get something on, right? So I wouldn't bench either. No Alonso, says hi. No Alonso for me. No, not yet. Let's see how many games he plays, and then we can make a decision, right? Cancelo captain, good. I never recommend to captain a defender, my friend. Even if he goes and scores like 17 points or 15 points again, I'd still say, I still reiterate, for me in FPL, just don't. I don't feel comfortable captaining a defender. Aditya says bench Sofal or Holding or Chilwell or Soucek. I think Chilwell is more dicey because he didn't play in the last game. Maybe you can bench Chilwell. That would be easier for an easy decision for you to take. Jackson says you missed my question. Kane and Wood replacement. Well, if I had to replace Kane and Wood, I would look at somebody like I think at this moment in time, Bamford, Watkins and Antonio is the ideal kind of combination. If you can throw DCL in there, take one of them out, but otherwise I think that's a pretty decent budget striker options. And if you want, you can go for Wilson, but he's just not for me. Have you used your wildcard? No, I haven't used my second wildcard. I still have it, my friend. Do you think Mahrez will start today? Hang on, I just made a list. I'll check it out for you, and based on the forums from Manchester City, I go to the forums and I try to see what they say. and they think. No, they were pretty much, yeah. It's like 70%. They feel that they feel that 70% chance of Mahrez starting on the forum. So hopefully he starts. Dallas or Cresswell. Honestly, if it depends on that, but if I was you, I'd possibly play Cresswell. FPL Premier League tipster says, what are your plans for double game week 26 and blank game week 29? Actually, since I've already used my free hit, it becomes a little difficult for me to kind of navigate blank game week 29, especially with the number of teams which are missing their games, and it's going to become more clear in after the FA Cup 5th round. But currently, I'm thinking to navigate the double game week without using my wildcard. If I can just make my transfers according to the double game week, and I'll just navigate that, and then I'll see how many teams have a blank game week. If like in game week 29, just 4 or 5 teams have fixtures, I might take a couple of hits and try to field the strongest team that is possible without using my wildcard. But that is what I'm thinking about. Basically, the strategy is to adapt based on the clarity of the fixtures and which teams are playing or not. So that's where I'm at right now, my friend. Desmond says, hello Viz, is this your final team? Yeah, this is my final team, bro. Eamon says Dallas or Cresswell. I answered that. Should I take out Kane or not? I think if Kane will not be back pretty soon. He had injuries on both the ankles or something like that, and doesn't have he has a decent fixture next game week against West Brom, but I don't think that he is going to be back for that. So if I was you, I'm just saying from my opinion or my side, I would take him out. Bench Rafinha or Souček. You know what happens when you bench Souček. I don't know, my friend. As I already told you, if you want the point from Souček, you play him every game week, right? If you have him on the bench for some game weeks and you play him for some game weeks, you're going to miss some of his hauls, and that's the truth. So if I was you, I'd possibly still play Rafinha over Souček. Tucker says, who to bench? Rafinha, Gundogan, Watkins. Out of those, I'd say Rafinha maybe, because he at least has an injury concern, so Gundogan and Watkins are fine to go. Let's hope for the best. Son, Gundogan or Sterling, Maddison? I'd say, for this game week, Sterling and Maddison look much better than Son and Gundogan. But long term, the problem with having Sterling and Maddison is that you're gonna want to get Sterling out of your team because City's got really difficult fixtures. So based on that, look at the next 5 fixtures for Manchester City after this game, after the Burnley game, and then decide, bro. Thomas says, hi Wiz, should I start Pope versus City or Areola versus Leicester? I mean, Thomas, in my opinion, if you start Pope versus City, I don't think you're going for the clean sheet. I think you're going for the save points. With Areola versus Leicester, it is similar, but I feel that Areola can give you a clean sheet, right? Because the form City are in right now, I don't see them not scoring. And with Leicester, they are missing Vardy, so although it's a big call, Pope was kept 15 clean sheets last season, but I feel that Areola could do fine, this game week. But big call, my friend. Just go with your instinct. Samuel says, should I sell Salah for Sterling for a -4? If I was you, I wouldn't do it, my friend. But again, everybody has a different style to play FPL. So, each to his own. FPL Sam says, Antonio, Bamford, Watkins, the holy trinity. Well, it's not necessarily. I mean, you can change a couple of them, sometimes there. Why not Vice Captain Cancelo? Because I don't have him, Jug. Unfortunately, I don't have Cancelo. I've got Diaz and Stones, bro. So that's the reason. Adrian says, is Diaz or Cancelo a better long-term option? If you already have Stones, Adrian, I'd say Cancelo, because yes, Diaz is more nailed on, but Cancelo has a much higher ceiling than both Stones and Diaz. So if technically if you have Stones, then you should go with Cancelo. Bench Sofal or Holding or Chilwell. If I was you, Aditya, I would bench Chilwell. Surya says, would you play Johnston or Fabianski? I would play Fabianski, Surya. Sharon says, hey Viz, got a bench one DCL, Bamford or Antonio? Sorry if you have answered already. No problem, Sharon. The thing is, if I was you, I'd possibly bench Antonio, over I'd play DCL definitely, and then I would bench one out of Bamford and Antonio. You have to make the decision based on how your team looks. You already have Souček. Are you playing Souček? If yes, then bench Antonio. If not, then bench Bamford. Something like that, right? If I do buy Son or Grealish for Rashford, Rafa says, yes, I think for Rashford you can get Grealish. He has good fixtures and he's in the form of his life. I mean, I feel so bad that I don't own Grealish in my team, and I really want to take a hit and take him out. If I had money in my bank, I would just take out Gundogan, or maybe take out Souček and bring in Grealish, because I feel that Salah, Fernandes, Son, and Grealish are the players that I want to own for the upcoming game weeks, unless De Bruyne becomes fit again, right? Whom to bench, Bamford or Wilson? This is again tough one. I feel that they both are going to score this game week. If Bamford starts against Everton, I think he has a good chance to score. And Wilson against Crystal Palace, Wilson is Wilson, right? He always scores when you least expect him to. So, but if I was you, I'd possibly I can't choose between the both of them. I'd possibly start both of them and maybe bench somebody else from your team if you can tell me your full team, bro. Right, moving on, guys. Remember, 15 minutes to go to the deadline. So if you haven't locked your team yet, go and lock your teams, right? I'm gonna be here answering your questions, but at least lock your teams so that you don't miss the deadline. Jake says, hey Wiz, play Martinez or Mendy. If I was you, I'd play Martinez, bro. The thing is, with two playing keepers, and you've got two expensive playing keepers, if I was you, I'd possibly sell one of them and just don't give yourself an extra headache every week, bro. Whom to play, McCarthy or Johnston? Well, Jug, you can see my team, and I have the same dilemma. I have McCarthy and Johnston. I'm going for Johnston, but there's not much between them. I expect them both to concede. Should I start Holding, Target, or Mitchell? If I was you, Lewis, I would start Target. Matthew says, drop Son and bring in Madison. Really, why do you want to go for Madison, Matthew? I feel that Harvey Barnes is a better option. I feel Grealish is the best option in that price range as well. So Madison is in my list, is on 3rd or 4th. Rarely ever going to get a lot of hauls, Madison. Although he did score 4 goals in the past few weeks, but is that sustainable? In my opinion, not. William says, who to start, Bednarek or Chilwell? If I was you, I'd possibly start Bednarek, because I feel, what you could do is you could try and start Chilwell. But if Alonso starts, then he won't get any game time, and Bednarek is gonna come in. But if you want to go the more safe route, you can start Bednarek. Whom to play, Fabianski or Darlow? Oh, why do you have 5 million keepers, my friend? It's too much money invested in those keepers. If I was you, possibly, they just kept a clean sheet versus Everton, but did Newcastle. But can they keep a clean sheet against Crystal Palace? Possibly. If I was you, I'd possibly be tempted to start, Darlow. Although reluctantly, I'm saying this, but maybe Darlow. Start Souček or Saka? I would start Saka over Souček, especially if you have Antonio in your team. Then you start Saka definitely. Watkins captain? No, my friend. What options do you have? Please tell me your options. Matthew, I already answered your question, bro. I hope you got the answer. Amsali says, have high hopes for this game week. Thanks and good luck, Wiz. Remember, guys, every time when you have high hopes for the game weeks, you know how it ends. I don't have any hope for the game week. I can tell you this much. All right, I'm just trying to reverse jinx it. So hopefully it works. The storyteller says, so DCL, Bamford, and Wilson. Whom to bench? Whom should I play? Should I bench Saka? I would play, if I was you, I'd play DCL, Bamford, and Wilson. Yes, bench Saka. I'm not sure, because Saka is back in training. Matthew, yeah, I already said. I said that if you want to sell Son, I would prefer you sell him for Grealish. Otherwise, you can keep Son, because he has a really good game next game week against West Bromwich Albion, who like the lowest team in the league for the highest team in the league for shots in the box conceded. So if you want to sell him, I would possibly sell him for somebody like Grealish rather than Maddison. Even from Leicester, I prefer Harvey Barnes over Maddison. Citron says start 3: Mitchell, Chilwell, Diaz, Sofal, Dallas. Alright. So if I was you, I'd start Diaz, definitely. I would start Mitchell, and I would start Dallas or Sofal. I would start Mitchell and Diaz, and then one of Sofal and Dallas. AWF Gaming says Dallas or Sofal. See, it depends on what you're going for. If you're going for a clean sheet, I'd say Sofal has the higher percentage chances, although I feel that Sofal and Dallas both are going to concede, right? But Sofal has a greater chance of a clean sheet and Dallas has a greater chance of an attacking return, so it depends on what you're going for. But especially with defenders, I always suggest you go for the clean sheet first, because that is what the defender is for. Alright, Bob says, why Salah captaincy instead of Gundogan? Brighton have been good defensively and Burnley has a higher expected goal conceded. Well, yeah, Bob, the thing is, I know what you're saying, but the thing is, Burnley have improved defensively massively, and their conceded goals over the season is different to what they are now. Now Burnley are really an airtight, really strong defensive team. And although City have a really good record against Burnley, I still feel I don't think they're going to score too many, because there's a difference between playing them at the Etihad and playing them at the Turf Moor. So, yeah. Alright, he said, bro, play 3. Dawson, Chilwell, Target, Stones. If I was you, I'd play Dawson, Target and Stones. Chances of Gundogan to bench. This is a difficult one, because the thing is, Gundogan has played so many games. Here, let me show you guys, just in case he's played so many games here. Look, he's from Gameweek 14, he's just been playing regularly, even from 13, right? So he's been playing in all the matches. He got like 51 minutes in against West Bromwich Albion, but and Pep did say explicitly, he said, I have to kind of bench some players because they've had so many games that humanly it is not possible for them to play all 3. So possibly he's gonna be benched. That's the reason I got Souček. Alright, Nail says 10 minutes to go. Lock your teams, guys, and please do lock your teams. I don't want you to miss the deadline. DCL for captain. I wouldn't do it, bro, but if you're feeling it, if you have the instinct, because ever since he's come back from injury, DCL has scored in one FA Cup game. He hasn't scored in the league. Based on what he had, one shot on target in the entire game against Newcastle. Based on what do we make him captain? Matthew says, what's your overall rank? It is close to 75,000 at the moment, Matthew, and yeah. Someone says, hoping for a red arrow. It's a reverse jinx. I hope it works for you, bro. Raziv says, Shaw, Sofal, Dallas, 1 to bench. I wouldn't bench Shaw. Again, I think that's the same question, Sofal or Dallas. If I was you, again, whether you're going for a clean sheet or for an attacking return, it depends on which player will you pick. If you're going for attacking return, go for Dallas. If you're going for more, you want a clean sheet from your player, you should go for Sofal. I wouldn't bench Shaw. Start Ryan Brewster versus West Brom. I'm tempted. Yes, if yes, bench Son for it. I wouldn't bench Son for Ryan Brewster. I know he's playing against West Bromwich Albion, but we don't have any assurances that he's going to start anyway, right? He doesn't start many games for Sheffield United, and Son, at least we know he's going to start, and on the counter attack he does have a chance, and he's also on penalties when Kane is not there. So Ryan Brewster over somebody like Souček or over somebody like some defender, I would understand. Over Son, I don't think so. So Deep says, how about Cancelo captain? Bro, again, it's against my policies, against the way I play the game to captain a defender. If you're feeling it, if you're brave enough, go for it, bro. Souček or Antonio to start? If I had to start one of them, I'd start Antonio. He's on penalties as well. Fabio Silva. I don't know. What about Fabio Silva, bro? I don't know. Charlie says, wizard. Charlie, you're the wizard. Someone says, my gut tells me DCL will get a double-digit haul this week. Thank you so much for your gut, and I hope it is right, because I did bring him in for these games. Alrighty, Fadzli says, rate my team. Martinez, Diaz, Maguire, Dean, Rashi, Bruno, Son. So you've got Rashford, Bruno, Son. You don't have Salah. A little bit scared. DCL, Bamford, Antonio. I'd say for this game week, 7/10, bro. Casper says, what to do with Mane, captain or sell? that's really extreme of you, my friend. But if I had Mane, I'd possibly sell him for Salah, because not this game week. I'm not telling you to sell him now, but in general, the way you play this game, it depends upon your temperament. But for me, every season, every time, I just prefer owning Salah over Mane. Just also he's on penalties, Salah. Son or Antonio to start? This is difficult, but if I was, it's difficult, guys. Come on. How can I tell you to bench one of them? But I'd still say that Son should not be benched. Mane is not starting in this game week. Andy says that. Hang on, let me check on my list, which I made about Mane, right? Because there was no conclusive thing on Mane. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, see, even in my list, I don't see anything about Mane. And he says, so he missed the game with a slight issue, and Klopp said that he's going to be monitored, right? He didn't say, Klopp didn't exclusively say whether he's going to be start or not. So just I'm not sure about Mane, guys. If Andy says that, he might have had some information from somewhere. Honestly, I don't. So alright, guys, again, I'd like to remind you, please, just lock your teams, lock and load, and Zen. It's time for Zen, my brothers. It's too late now. 5 minutes to go. Mendy on for Martinez, last minute move. If I was you, I would play Martinez, bro, and I would, I don't have any conclusive evidence, but against Spurs away, I still feel that Martinez is a good keeper. Sell one of your premium keepers. Don't give yourself a headache every week. Don't give yourself this headache. Alright, I'm going to refresh my team for all of you to see. So this is my final lock team for the game week. Alright, no changes, nothing doing. Double check your vice captain. More than captain, says FPL Sum. I hope you expect Salah to be benched, right? Aditya says Klopp hasn't said anything about Mane. Yeah, he did, but before the match, I mean, in the when he talks to the reporters, he said that the pre-match, he said that he had a slight niggle, and he said that he's not sure, about when he's gonna be back. That's what I have written in my notes, So somebody could have had an update, but I don't. I honestly don't. Bruno or Cancelo captain? Out of those two, I'd go with Bruno. What about Zaha ahead of a good run of fixtures? Yes, I think Zaha is a decent option. For the same price, I prefer Grealish. So yeah. Aditya says Andy's expecting Mane won't be a risk, especially with City to come. No conclusive evidence. Again, it's all about gut feeling and instinct, and with the meager amount of knowledge or the information that we have, we can just extrapolate it and try to give you predictions. In my opinion, I can't say in any conclusive way one way or another. So yeah, that's what I think about that. Gundogan and Mane out for Sterling and Hudson-Odoi -4. Not if you can just go Mane to Sterling, that would be better. Hudson-Odoi, maybe you can think about that later as well, because not feeling that right now, but if again, go with your gut, guys. I can just tell you my opinion, right? Gundogan or Bamford on the bench? If I was you, I'd possibly. It depends on your team, Bradley, how many City players you have. If you can tell me a full team, I would be better placed to help you. Salah can't be benched, but just in case. Yeah, of course, I agree with you. I've vice captain Bruno Fernandes, and I hope he does well, But I feel that even if Salah doesn't start, he's going to come on. Cresswell or Rudiger for this week? Cresswell, I'd say, has better, attacking return chances, and with a clean sheet, I feel yes, Rudiger does have a chance. So, Jackson says, please help Bamford or Antonio. Bro, if I was you, I'd start both of them. It's very difficult for me to tell you to bench one of them. Bench Sofal or one of Stones Diaz. Yes, definitely bench Sofal for for one of Stones and Diaz. No problem with that, my friend. Jackson, if I was you, Matthew says Captain Fernandez over Salah. If you're feeling it, you can. But again, I'd showed you, right? You see here. You see here, Bamford Fernandez is blank for the past few weeks with Pogba playing. So that's the reason I'm not captaining him. Bradley says Martinez, Stones, Justin, Holding, Pulisic, Bruno. So you don't have you've got Stones there, and right. If you want, you can. If you really want, Gundogan or Bamford on the bench. All right. You got Hesses, right? I think Gundogan. It's difficult, right? Bench Son or Antonio or Calvert-Lewin. Guys, come on. It's just 2 minutes left. Don't give me so difficult questions. I have to answer Bradley. Where is he? Martinez, Stones, Justin. If I was to bench one, guys, which one would you bench? It's difficult. Gundogan or Bamford? I'd say bench Gundogan. Bench Gundogan. If Bamford is not fit and doesn't play, then it's better. Sid says brought Grealish for Rafinha. Done. Pogba is plaguing Bruno big time. Yeah. Guys, 1 minute left to go. Stop asking questions. Go lock your teams. We're done with the stream. Please, guys, come on. Don't miss the deadline. Why I see many benching Son, it saddens me. Well, I haven't benched Son and I don't intend to bench Son, my friend. I wouldn't bench Son. Olsen in... No, Pickford. Yeah, I know. Pickford is injured. He has a rib injury. So yeah, Pickford is not going to be playing. And that is the reason maybe people want to bench Bamford, because Pickford definitely going to make an error. So if he's not there, Everton do have a chance of a clean sheet, by the way. So guys, it's the last minute. I again urge you to go and lock your teams and, zen, guys. Zen. Take long deep breaths. The time for decision making is now over. Henry, lock your team, bro. Lock your team. You're gonna miss the deadline. Gundogan, Son, Watkins, Bamford, DCL. Fair to bench one. Watkins. Gundogan, sorry. I don't know. The thing is, the deadline is over, bro. It's no point now. It's difficult even for me to make such answers at the spur of the moment, because, I have to process the question in my head, and it takes some time. Although I'm a wizard, I still have limitations, bro. Todd, this is the first message I'm seeing from you. Todd, where have you been, bro? By the way, welcome to the live stream, bro. And Henry says I went with Watkins. All right, my friend. Aditya, I'm not stressed. The thing is, I know when people come here and ask me questions, they expect me to help them, but I've got a limitation. I need to process the questions in my head before I can make an answer. I'm not here just for the sake of it, just to give any answer. Just remember this, guys. Every answer I give you, I process it in my head, and I already have processed it in my head. Before I come to the live stream, I make some decisions because I know what questions are going to come to me from all of you. So I process the questions beforehand. I do my research. I find out about the injury news. But still, when you ask me the questions, I have to process it, and then I have to answer that. But because if I just answer you just for the sake of it, if somebody asks me Bamford or Antonio, I'd say, okay, go for Bamford. Another one comes to me and I say, okay, go with Antonio. It doesn't make sense, guys. I mean, I'm here to help you, right? We're all here to help each other in the wizard community, and it only is fair that I give you a good answer. So that was my little, can you call it a rant or just an explanation? But whatever that was, that was it. Nahal says team locked. Martinez, Justin, Cancelo, Stones. I like the Justin pick against Fulham, absolutely. Cancelo, I wish I had him. Son, Bruno, Salah, Soucek. You played Soucek again, Nahal. I hope it works out again like it did last time. DCL, I like that team a lot. I really like that team. And yeah, that's pretty good. I'd say for this game week, it looks really, really strong. I hope you push up. Nahal says, Wiz rant. Pro Gamer says, Soucek is gonna bang. I think it's become a norm in these streams, right? Like every time we have this deadline and I see these messages like, Soucek is gonna bang. Just watch. It says, says that, so every time like I bench Soucek, I see these messages. I hope whoever has put him in the team, guys, I hope it works out for you, honestly. Todd says a wizard never rants. He always says exactly what he means to say. Yeah, I appreciate that, my friend. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Actually, I was wanting to say that, and because I want to explain myself. Sometimes I I listen to my streams after when the game week is going on. I'll listen to my streams. I'll come back, and when some player performs well, and I'll come back and I'll listen to my streams, and I'll sometimes I'll see what advice I gave to somebody. Did it work out for him? Did it go right or wrong or whatever? Like I just analyze my advices as well. So that I can improve the way I deliver the advice and you know my just the overall analysis in general, by the way. So yeah, someone says deadline overviz. Let's talk about butter chicken now. Yes, that's yeah, I honestly today I had my meal, so I'm totally full, and I don't intend on becoming a food wizard. And by the way, my little one is still awake, because generally the streams are a little later than today, and my little one is still awake, so I have to go, and I've got to play something with him. I have to keep him busy. Very generously, my wife has been taking care of him since I was streaming here, and the good thing is he did not come inside and he did not jump on me, so that so now I have to go and take care of him. Right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the stream, and thank you so much for being here, guys. I really, really appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you all for being here with me through such a long stream and talking about FPL. So I hope you all have a great game week and stay safe and take care. With this, we come to an end of the Game Week 22 deadline stream, and I'll be back with you, and until then, take care of yourself. FPL Wizard signing out with a beautiful song. But before that, may the arrows be green. Take care, fellas, and have a great, great game week. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.